Hi, welcome to the channel, Budget Audio Review and Upgrades. And I'll say thanks for a few new subscribers I got recently. And if you do like the videos, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. It all helps the channel and keeps me going, gets me motivated to go out and get more gear. And over a period of time, I'll keep this channel going as long as possible. Just started really. Get as much stuff out there, reviews, what I think about it, and maybe obviously you put your comments down the bottom as well. And then hopefully that somewhere along the line that'll help someone else who's thinking about buying that item to kind of make their yes or no decision, etc. At the moment it's budget. Someone did ask me what is budget, and really I suppose I'm starting anything from £10. You can get something for £10 over the car bill or something like that. Find it locally or something really cheap, up to about £150, something like that. At the moment I'm not spending hundreds and hundreds to get stuff. I'm right down the bottom end at the moment, but as the channel progresses, hopefully I'll build up and we'll start moving up the ladder, so to speak. But at the moment, quite happy doing this low budget, low end stuff kind of thing, but still gives a good sound, still going to get some good enjoyment out of it. Better than going out maybe today and buying something, I don't know, this plasticky kind of stuff that's got no feel to it, like you turn the knob and it feels, it's just rubbish, got no weight behind it, and the sound ain't fantastic, and you're still paying £200 or £300 or something like that for a system, when you can go out and get something, something like this. I know it's going to be a bit older, but there's plenty of bargains out there, really. People dismiss stuff and forget about them, etc. And hopefully along the way I may find one or two items, give a good sound at a low cost that you can still go and get. Because a few of these items now, you've got Stereo Review X and a few others. Some of these items a few years back was dirt cheap, and all of a sudden, they're giving them good reviews and that, and a lot of people are looking for them now, and they're creeping up in price. Okay. Today I'll be talking about this Trio KA 3700 amplifier, and what I'm going to do is what I've been doing recently, I'm going to pit it up against this Sansui AU 101 as a kind of comparison. They're not a million miles apart price wise and wattage wise. This is 20 watts a channel, I think this is 12, something like that. Price wise it's just a little bit different to what they were a few months ago. This was about £80 a few months ago, and recently one went for about £130, I think. And I think you're going to get this KA 3700 for probably between £60 and £80, something like that. So they're not a million miles apart, so probably not not a bad comparison, so to speak. Right, yeah, so here it is. Yeah, as you can see, it's quite a nice looking amplifier, I think. It's got that retro, it's a silver fascia amplifier, big chunky knobs, and the way they're actually laid out is quite nice. I'm off really nice, I think. So quite a retro looking, nice looking amplifier. You had this on your side on a wooden table, wooden whatever, like you got that on one bit, and then you've got your turntable next to it. It's going to look really nice, like, they've got that right retro feel. Just look at the back here quickly. And as you can see, this just got the one set of speakers, pretty much the same as the 101 here. Obviously, you could connect a second set if you wanted to, in series or parallel wiring arrangement. But just be careful you've got the right impedance speakers that still match up to the amplifier. Which is also, I don't know if I mentioned, I probably have. It's rated at 20 watts a channel, this amplifier. And just very quickly, I'll put it up against here. I'm not too sure if I mentioned it, but this on eBay is probably about £60 to £80 at the moment here in the UK. And this 101, it's gone up a little bit, but it's probably about £120, something like that. So not a million miles away price wise. And the wattage on there, I think it's 10 or 12 watts, and not a million miles away anyway there. But pretty much, to be honest with you, the volume, I pretty much had them both in exactly the same position volume wise for all the speakers I connected up to it. And as for speakers, I've got quite a few sets of speakers here still, even though I've sold a few recently and dismantled a few. I've got floor standers, a few floor standers too, a few bookshelves, and a few like on stands, etc. So I've kind of mixed it up amongst all the speakers, etc. CD player and my turntable I plugged into it, so kind of get a good feel of it. And I've even listened to the radio. I do like listening to the radio when I'm tinkering around with something else, just to keep up with the latest news, as well as a few different tracks I haven't heard before, etc. But yeah, first of all, the phono stage sounded fine. There was nothing wrong with that. It sounded pretty nice, the phono stage, so that's no problem. Right, let's talk about how the amplifier actually sounded. First thing I noticed really that it hasn't got a lot of bass. The bass is there, but you just wanted more bass to it. It's a bit bass shy, this amplifier. The toms and that sounded fine, going round and everything, going around the kit and stuff like that. But you just wanted a bit more oomph to it, a bit more bass to it. I think, compared with this 101, this has got quite a kick to the bass in it. But this, once you started switching, which I do, I switch between both amplifiers with the same set of speakers quickly. and you know it's a big difference here bass wise than it is with this 3700. I found, you know, the instruments and that, all the instruments playing that were focused. You know, there was placed nicely, like it's all in their place kind of thing. You know, it's got, you know, that's fine. You know what I mean? I just didn't find it as spacious as it depends what you're looking for, really. You know what I mean? Some people don't want to listen to all this space and kind of zoning out kind of thing. I like to get a sweet spot as well in between the speakers, a nice sweet spot where everything's happening. I like hearing things coming from right over there, then something a bit nearer, then something over there, then something kind of coming all different angles and from the sides kind of thing. You know, depending how like open the speakers are and how the amplifier is, etc. I do like kind of get zoning out and that, but it's not for everyone. Not everyone wants that, obviously. You know, some people just want it, you know, just to come from the speakers and bosh out and that, you know, nice and still sound nice. And you know, maybe don't want all that space and airiness and whatever. But yeah, it was focused. The instruments were still, you know, placed nicely and everything. I did find the amplifier, because it was lacking that bass, and the treble was okay. It wasn't, you know, it could just do with a tad more, I think, but it was okay. It was quite defined. It was quite defined, the treble. Like I listened for the brushes, the little twinkling, the shimmering, and all that kind of stuff, and just brushes tapping away and all different things. I listened out and make sure I can hear it on one amplifier, you know, compare it with the other amplifier and see if it's picking it up, etc. I just didn't think it was defined as this 101. This sounded more defined, the top end, than this 3700, that's for certain. And this is, like I say, more airy, more of a spacious sound. It's more of a magical sound, I would say. You know what I mean? This has got more of a magical sound than this has, but it still sounded okay. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? It was okay. It's just a bit mid-rangey kind of thing, just a little bit on the mid-rangey side for me. Vocals were still fine on this. It was a little bit edgy in places, not quite, you know, not as smooth as this. There's a little bit edgy, the vocals, but they was okay. You know what I mean? They you know, whacked out a good, you know, vocal kind of thing. But it wasn't defined as this, and it wasn't as kind of smooth as this. It's a bit on the edgy side, the vocals. What else have I got written down here? Yeah, that's it really. Yeah. Yeah, the treble and that was just a bit more defined, more smoother, and like I say, this is more, had a more of a magical sound. That's the kind of like word I was looking for. I was thinking, how could you compare one to the other? It just sounded more magical, a bit more like Walt Disney, like, you know, that intro, the Walt Disney intro. It just sounded magical, like, you with me, compared to this one. But it's not a bad amplifier, like I say, you know, for what you know. What you're going to get it for, you got to say 60, 80 pounds, something like that. Still getting a good amplifier, still got plenty of clout to it, and it just, like I say, the bottom line, just a bit bass shy, I think, and the treble could be a little bit more top end and a bit more defined, I think, and the vocals maybe a little bit edgy for some people, but you know, depending what you like and that. But still, you know, still okay, this amplifier. But if you wanted, you know, not saying if you think of getting this, save up £40 and get this instead, it's, you know, it's your choice. But I just found this 101. You know, if you could just put that little bit extra to it. I'm not saying rush out and get this one. Obviously, there's other amplifiers as well. Maybe you can come across, but I, you know, this for an extra £40. You know, I mean, I'll be tempted to put that towards it and get this rather than get this. But then obviously, you know, how it looks and that may set up better with your system, etc. I don't know. But I did look at a few reviews on this online. Well, quite a few reviews actually online. It did get quite a good write-up on most people. Like, you know what I mean? There's a few people that didn't really like it, I must admit, but on most people they seem to like it. So this, like I say, this is just my opinion on this amplifier. But a lot of people said that did review that, you know, kind of give the review on this at the 3500, said the 3500 was a better amplifier than this, and that's their opinion. And like so, I haven't got the amplifier to compare it with. But there you go. So that's my review and my thoughts on this 3700. To cap it up very quickly again, you know, it's okay. It's quite a good amplifier. For the money you're going to pay, 60 quid or something like that. You know, what can you get for £60 these days? Probably not a lot. So, you know, I don't think you're going to be that disappointed with it. But, you know, if you can save up a little bit more, maybe think of something else and maybe give this 101 you know, some consideration as well. Okay, I'll say thanks for watching. Until the next video, I'll see you all soon.